That's we're not live, are we?
I just went live.
Okay.
Thank you for checking. And we have a chat this time.
Nice.
Boom.
All right.
That's what I'm saying. That works. If only I could.
All right. Hey, after the show, I'm talking to you about a guy who I spoke with yesterday. He wants me to hop on his podcast, and I think I'm gonna get him to hop on our podcast.
Okay.
He doesn't have a significant following. He's got like 1,700 followers, but he's got a lot of engagement, and he interviews actors. He's about to have Cuba Gooding Jr. on.
That's cool.
Right?
What's up, Dan the Man? How do you like the YouTube interface?
Dan the freaking man. Dan.
So, all right. Well,
Yeah, Dan. Let us know how the chat interface is going for you.
and everything. If it's a little easier to find, or what you prefer. I mean, yeah, because that's kind of everything we're kind of looking at. This is the last time you're gonna see something like this from me too, for a couple weeks, maybe ever.
Indeed. Yeah.
Today's gonna be a lot of work for me. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of trash, a lot of donations. So we loaded the couch up yesterday, and there's one little cell, and it's just over Sun Prairie. It's like, what is going on? So it rained all over the couch, so we lost that couch.
Oh, jeez. So it rained down here too, huh?
Just like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like,
I say
loaded the couch.
randomly.
Not more than 10 minutes later, it starts raining, and it wasn't supposed to rain. There's
Exactly.
like 10% chance, and I was like, check the radar.
Caught us off guard.
So man. So, all right. I guess let's just go into it and wait for Waba to get here, and then
Yeah, you know the deal. You know, we adapt.
then we'll go from there. So, all right, I guess I'll talk about the move and stuff. Good morning, and thank you for tapping into some Untapped Keg. I'm RJ Zimmerman, here with my good friend Monte Ball. How you doing, big guy?
Good, man. Good. Working through some things right now, in house, but all will be well. All will be well. Yesterday was a lot of fun. We'll talk about that obviously moving later on into the show, but I'm surviving, man. Just like all of us. How you doing? Oh no.
Yeah, that's fun. It stayed up for months and months and months and now decided that it's time to move. So let's go.
As soon as you start the show too, of course.
Right. So yeah, a little bit busy. Things are changing. I've had a couple of lasts already.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have a couple more lasts. Things are starting to move and the move is coming. And on Friday, I was a little bit of a wreck dropping my kids off at daycare. It was their last day at daycare. It was their last day at the daycare that was started for them.
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot more emotional than I thought it was going to be. And like all day, I was kind of a wreck. I didn't get nearly as much done as I wanted to get done. I got a little bit, but it started to hit me a little bit. What's about to happen. And yeah, I tell you what, these kids have no idea what's about to happen to them.
I was going to ask that. Obviously, they're very young, both of them. I want to know if the oldest has any sort of idea of what's coming.
I think he knows that we're moving to a new house.
Mm-hmm.
We're moving far away that you have to get on an airplane to get to.
Okay.
But he doesn't realize that he's not gonna be able to just go down the street and see Momo and Pawpaw. That people can't just come visit for a day. Like his uncles, like his aunts, like he definitely doesn't realize that. I don't think he fully realized that was the last day he was going to see some of his friends at daycare, which he's had friends leave already. So it's not like, at this age you have friends that leave and come and
Right.
I mean, it's a pretty good age to move, luckily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
yeah, and I think
it's gonna be interesting. It's definitely, I knew it was gonna be a lot, but it's starting to become even more than what I realized.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've been here your whole life, so it's a big deal. And then obviously, yeah, it's even a bigger deal. Obviously, moving 2 kids as well.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, you guys obviously took your time. You guys obviously thought that out. There's a very thorough process, and you guys are obviously taking it step by step. But I think you're doing the right thing. I really do. Really do. And obviously, I support it. And it's a nice little spot that I can vacate now to when I need to get away.
Right.
So
that I have felt like I've been trapped for a pretty long while. Actually, I felt like I've been trapped. Like it's hard to describe the feeling. Like kind of like you're stuck in the mud. Like you feel like there could be more. And it's kind of how I get when I get into autopilot mode, where I don't know what to do to make my life more fulfilling, I guess, maybe, or feel like I'm doing more with my life. And I think just this kind of change is what I personally need. It's kind of what I felt back when I was leaving the city that I went to college in for the longest period of time, which was Stevens Point. I lived there for 5 years, and I just felt like I was trapped there. Like I had nothing that I was going to be able to do. There was no going up. It's a little bit different here because I have my career that I started. But there's work anywhere you go. And the funny thing about electricity is it's needed everywhere. So that's something that's a little bit getting used to, a little different, a little bit. I think it's going to be good for myself. And I know it's going to be good for my partner because she does not want to go through another winter here.
Right. So. Yeah, she has made that clear. She has made that very, very clear. And I think again, obviously, you're going to feel a little sad. Obviously, it's going to pain you a bit, the both of you. with everything that you just mentioned, obviously moving away from family, moving your kids away from their friends, and again, their friends have been in and out because they're young. You know, again,
Yep.
under 4, you go through friends pretty quickly at that age. But I think another thing that we must touch on as well too. I think looking on the bright side of things, you know, for you guys to be able to have the opportunity, I think, and I'm not coming from you guys are privileged. You guys have worked extremely hard from where you're at. Started at what, $7.25 an hour, I think. Obviously, you guys are doing well for yourselves now, and honestly, it's just a pat on the back, man, for the both of you to be in the position to say, you know what, we want something else. We want something else, so we're gonna go get it. So I think that's a good thing. I think that is a good thing. And again, I know again, it can be sad with everything that's happening and leaving, but the bright side of things, you guys are starting a new chapter, and I think it's gonna be awesome. I think it's gonna be awesome, and hopefully you guys think as well. And you're gonna be near a beach too,
Right. I got to get used to the heat. Like, that's what I'm worried about, because I do fine in winter, and I like I'm not going to say cold, but I like the cold. And
right?
I like it, I like it better 45 degrees than I do 85 degrees. So where we're moving that's not going to be the case. It's going to be 85 degrees. It's not going to get to 45 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be some getting used to. But this is giving me a lot more respect for people who move with less resources, with less,
right,
just picking up and moving. And it's expensive. Like, a lot of people who say, well, you can just get up and move, and it's not that easy. And especially if you don't have anybody helping you financially, or businesses that are paying for you to help you move. Your careers, like, it's unreal what it costs. So, most moving services, we're looking at like $8,000.
Oh, for sure.
And it's like, that sure would be nice. We would enjoy that, but nope, not happening. We don't have that kind of means. So it's gonna be a change. Next week, hopefully I'll be set up and I'll look kind of like this. Might be blank behind me. We'll see. Hopefully I have a desk that I can stream from. Otherwise, I'll be at a little coffee table like I was when we started.
Humble beginnings, man.
Right.
Humbled beginnings. So I mean, I do hope that the move goes well. Obviously, we'll be visiting all the above, and yeah, there's a beach. Whenever you're having a boring day, you're feeling a little bored, just go to the beach. Can't beat it.
I don't like
That's a great default. It's a great default. Just, all right, I don't know what I'm doing today, but I'll be at the beach.
Maybe I'll go kayaking. I'll learn to kayak and fish in the ocean from a kayak. Maybe that's what I'll do.
Yes, indeed. So guys, yes, thank you guys obviously for tuning in. We were scheduled to have Waba streams, if anybody's familiar, to have them on. But I think there was a scheduling issue. And so we will be obviously speaking with Waba about possibly getting Waba back on the schedule. Hopefully everything is going well for Waba. But again, we appreciate you guys tuning in. And so we're obviously going to adapt here, talk about some different things that we had planned with Waba.
So I guess we should do our spiel, right? That we've been planning on, like, having a spiel now, being more professional. Here we go. This is Untapped Keg, podcast about our sobriety, Mons and I. And we also talk about mental health. We have guests on, and we just go from there. We go with the flow. We try to make things a little bit light, but we're not afraid to touch heavy topics as well. And we appreciate everybody tapping in. So, with that said, Mons, what you got?
Yeah. I think, I think we're obviously getting into the football season here, you guys. We're getting into heavy partying times, I'll say. Obviously, you know, we are non-drinkers, but, you know, people get together. Schools are getting back in session. People are around each other. Football's back. So you're going to be around people drinking. You're going to be in those atmospheres. How do we manage? How do we manage, RJ?
You know, that it's funny you say that, because I saw a tweet yesterday of somebody being super excited for Badger football next weekend, talking about being 3 beers deep at this point, ready for the game to start. And I'm like, I don't miss those days. I mean, it's cliche, right? But you play the tape till the end. Sure, I would love to have a beer and watch a football game again. I would love to have 4 beers and watch a football game again. But it ain't going to be just 1 or 4 beers. It's going to be 10 beers. It's going to be 15 beers. I'm going to be a mess. I'm going to wake up. Who am I going to have to apologize to the next day? Besides my partner, my kids. Just not happening. Not to mention, did I drive? Did I hurt somebody? Did I do anything else that was not smart? That is the basics for me for how I manage. How about you, Mons?
Right. Well, how I manage it, at least for myself, is I stay away from it.
Yeah, avoidance. That's a good one too.
Avoidance.
That's what I will also be doing.
Yeah, avoidance for sure. For obvious reasons. I mean, obviously, all of my memories of significant partying. I mean, obviously, partied in Denver too when I was there playing, but you know, college was, you know, the real kind of dangerous partying in a sense. You're just you're really risky. You're very, very risky. And a lot of those memories are obviously
in college, right?
Exactly. And a lot of those memories are attached to some of the places that are downtown Madison. And so I avoid. I most definitely avoid. But this Badger football season obviously will be bringing me down there. So how am I going to manage? I'm just going to stay strong, man. I'm just going to obviously focus on, you know, our podcast, what we've talked about in our podcast. Obviously, my child, what I need to do for my child, myself. And also just understand that, again, I've played the tape to the end from day one of drinking till my last day. And I don't want to hit that rewind button. I don't want to go back to those days. I don't want to run into the wall anymore.
Right.
I don't want to get arrested. And I think that's just important to remember. Obviously, I wish I never ran into the law the way that I did. But obviously, since I did, I can't change it. I can use that. That's helping me. I do not want to experience that again. I do not want to go to jail again. I do not want my feet to touch that cold, hard floor again in jail. I don't want to look at that toilet again, or the overflowing drinking fountain that's above and connected to the toilet that was overflowing with spit in it, so we couldn't even drink water out the water fountain. I mean, so again, exactly. Loogies too. Loogies.
Oh, that's
so gross. When you had to get your water, because obviously we need our water, you had to put your cup near the mouth of the water fountain thing.
It's called the bubbler.
The spout.
The bubbler. Where the bubbler.
Without it touching the loogie that's sitting right beneath it.
That's so gross.
So again, but those are, you know, I can use those. Those are, I am using those as images. I don't want to go back. I don't want to see that. I don't want to be around that. I don't want to be around the people there. I don't want to be around the guards or the 3 stations that they give you. So long story short, how do I manage? Avoid. I avoid. But not in a sense as if I'm not strong enough to tackle it. I am, but I just maneuver differently now. So, RJ, football season coming up. You're going to be in a different state.
Yeah.
I'm assuming there's going to be a bunch of Washington football team fans there.
I think so too. I don't know who. I think it's going to be a lot because there's a lot of people there in the military. So I think that there's going to be a lot of people who aren't native, but it's either going to be Carolina Panthers or it's going to be Washington football team. And I don't know which it's going to be, which I'm fine with either one. honestly, because the Packers are better than both teams. So let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be less Bears fans, so that's a plus.
That's Vikings fans.
You know,
Yep.
It's going to be different because I have always been around people I could talk Packers football with. I'll be able to talk football, but it's not going to be Packers. Like, be able to throw some Packers stuff in there, but it's not going to be the main topic.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be interesting. They're like,
So
why are you bringing the Packers?
How am I going to be able to watch the game is also something, right? Like, am I going to have to go to a bar? Maybe.
Right.
You could go to any place here, and they'll have the game on. So that'll be very different because that's what I used to have to do. Is I used to have to go to another place to watch the game because I didn't have TV. I haven't had TV for almost 10 years now. So before, like I got the digital channels now, but before I could do that, I couldn't get the game, so I'd have to go to. I actually went to Hy-Vee, and I would get a cup of coffee and like a little flatbread pizza.
Oh, yeah, I remember you sharing this.
Appetizers. And that's what I would have, and I'd watch the Packer game, and they just refill my coffee the whole time. And I would just sit there and watch the game, and people left me alone, and it was fantastic. Because I don't like listening to drunk fans who don't know what they're talking about. Oh,
gosh. That's the worst,
every
man.
Play, that's a hold. That's a hold. No, it's not. I can't deal with it.
It's the worst, man.
So if I had to go to a bar and all of a sudden they're giving out free shots for scores, free shots for things, I might end up having to leave. I don't know.
Right.
You know, because being somewhere new, you want to fit in. You want to be one of the people there. How are they going to handle somebody being there who you just never know? You just sometimes, I wouldn't say there's hostility, but it is a singling out. You already feel singled out because you're walking in. You're going to be one of the only people not drinking.
Right.
And if there's more singling out going on, it could be uncomfortable for sure. So that'll be a big difference. Maybe a little bit more, how do I want to say, anxiety during the game than just watching the game itself. So.
Oh, absolutely. And and that's the thing, and I kind of want to bring up again last night, but there's some relevance here to exactly what you're saying. So I was in a softball game last night in Kenosha.
Be humble. Now's the time to brag. I want to hear it.
So I was terrible. I was 0 for 4. It was just not. I don't know what was going on. Don't know how I didn't hit a home run. It just was not working out for me. But it was a wonderful opportunity, obviously, to be around some awesome guys.
What softball game were you at?
The Kenosha Kingfish celebrity softball game.
Okay.
And Raleigh Fingers was there. I had a wonderful time of speaking with Raleigh for a very long time, actually. Every single pit stop we made to meet with event sponsors and everything. I literally just sat with Raleigh and spoke with Raleigh about his time and about how the bullpen was back then, them just ripping cigs like in the bullpen and just crushing hot dogs,
and then come out and like throw 3 scoreless,
crushing hot dogs in between innings, and then going out there and just balling. I mean, so it was awesome. But I bring this up because, and for other fans out there, Brewers, Bill Hall was there. Banks didn't play for the Brewers, Willie Banks.
Mm-mm.
Right, so he was there as well. It was
wins among other teams.
It was a good group of guys, but I bring this up because obviously, guys, this is celebrity softball. This is, hey, we're just getting together for the community and let's just hit some home runs and
softball.
Exactly. So there, game day, there was a cooler full of alcohol. I mean, there was a cooler full of alcohol in the locker room when we were getting dressed, and people are throwing beers at each other. I was asked 9 times, I think I counted.
Wow.
9 times yesterday if I want a beer. And I wanted to bring this up because I think, for folks out there, it's kind of how you started out, RJ, with your recovery journey. You didn't project to people who you just met that you don't drink, that you are a recovering alcoholic. You just turned it down, and that's what I did yesterday. And when I say that, there's nothing wrong with obviously projecting it, and projection's wrong. Excuse me, projecting that you are, hey, I don't drink. Sorry, I'm staying away from alcohol. But that's not the path that I took yesterday. What I did was I just told folks, no, just not gonna drink. I'm driving home, and so which is an hour and 40-minute drive for me. So, I'm just gonna drink this Bang energy drink and keep it at that. So I was asked 9 times yesterday. Exactly, asked 9 times, and every single time, man, it was kind of like.
You get that voice at the back of your head, right? You're like, just one.
And it wasn't as loud though as it usually was. It was more so funny in a way, because I'm just like, man. It's like, because they were just crushing Coors Light, which was my choice of drink for beer. And I was just like, man, that's kind of crazy how I don't care to have it. I don't care, and I don't even know what that is. It's not even a I hate it. It's obviously not a I love it. It's just a,
what,
there's just no feeling there. It's just,
and that's a good place to be,
right?
The only thing is, and this is just me talking a bit, because I've been there as well. And then when it does come back, it comes back with a vengeance, because you kind of let your guard down a little bit. You're like, oh, I finally got to the point where I don't care that I'm not drinking. And then it'll be people that you don't expect to want to drink with, that you'll be like, no, I should drink and have fun with these people. And it's like, no, I shouldn't. But it's there. And I have been there a few times. It's a cycle that I go through, and it's just the way that your cravings talk to you, the way that it changes, the way that you manipulate yourself into thinking. Sometimes it's really nice. Hey, just one beer with dinner. That no big deal. You like the flavor. You know what it tastes like. You can smell it. You remember it. Just have one beer. And then sometimes it's mad at you, and it's, hey, you need that beer right now. You need it. You deserve it. You've been under so much stress. Beer.
I'm sorry. Is this? Wait, are we talking about alcohol here? Or are we talking about venom? It's like what? That sounds like venom right there.
Well, and that's kind of what it is, isn't it? I mean, if you think about it, that's a good analogy. That's a good. It actually is.
That's symbiosis. That's symbiotic.
Yeah. Except it turns out it's not a symbiotic relationship, right?
Right.
It turns out that it is poisoning you. and then it'll go through oh, whatever. I don't care. I don't need you.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Right.
Go ahead. Skip it. I'm not gonna pressure you. Do what you want. But then when it comes back, it's it's just super thirsty. I haven't drank in
So these what your is this what your voice your alcoholic voice sounds like?
No, I'm not good at voices. I'm just making things up. But
no. This is interesting because I've never.
It is like a pounding of a drum. That gets really loud, almost like the angry one gets really loud in the back of my head. So
yeah, mine never gets angry. That voice, or maybe it does.
I say I've never. It could be just amped up.
That's a better description, absolutely, because it just gets louder. But mine is more so of just a talk, not like a venom style aggression. You need to do it. Mine is more so of hey, why not? It's just one. Who's gonna know? Kind of thing. That's the manipulation voice that I get in my head.
That's the one.
And I think, but I think the beauty about it, again, just to kind of end on this topic, many things hold me accountable. Obviously, myself, my spirit, I hold myself accountable. I want to be accountable for my child, but also, being around all Wisconsin fans, cameras, uh, cameras on cell phones, video. I made sure to have a Bang energy drink in my hand or a water. So again, that obviously holds, me accountable as well, to preach or to walk when I'm preaching, in a sense.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
The more people you can be accountable to, honestly, the better it is.
Right. And so yesterday was fun. I was terrible. And again, let's kind of segue here. And again, we're still stay on the topic of what I did yesterday. But again, I think when we get into fall, we're getting into really, obviously, it's just heavy sports, that being obviously football, football, and more football. This is what we love. But yesterday, I think that might be my last time this year playing some softball. I was 0-4 at bat. Just was not getting them going, man. I was not getting that bat going. I think the other team was paying the pitcher, who was pitching obviously for both teams, but paying him to pitch short to me every time. I'm like, come on, man, deeper, like get it here to the plate. But it was a really good time. I really enjoyed it. I always love being around a good group of people, reminiscing on our glory days, talking about how we're managing stress, anxiety, depression now, because I had a wonderful conversation yesterday with a gentleman. I don't want to share his name because he shared some very personal information with me, but he did the same thing. He struggled with opioids right after he finished playing big time for a decade, 10 years. And So we had a very long conversation about obviously my recovery journey and everything and what I'm doing now. And it was just awesome to see him say exactly what I've been saying, where it's like, once you're done playing, it's hard to replace that moment or those moments of running out the tunnel or running onto the field from the dugout, or the bullpen or what have you. I mean, it was really refreshing in a sense to hear that from him, to know like, wow, okay, like, it wasn't just me that struggled, trying to replace 80 to 90,000 fans screaming your name is difficult to do. But alcohol seemed to be the answer for me, and opioids. Don't want to get too long-winded on that, but I just wanted to kind of touch that.
Would you think it's a kind of an addiction though, right? That you're addicted to that adrenaline rush, that hit of emotion? Absolutely. What word am I looking for here? We're getting a little bit more scientific with it. Endorphins, or no? Is it endorphin? No, it's what's the other one? Dopamine. Thank you. That's what it is. The release of dopamine. I mean, we can get really scientific with it. Obviously, you get attached to that. Running out of the tunnel, that release of dopamine. It's my response, my happy center in my brain came about, lit up when 90,000 fans were screaming. Outside of that, it lit up when I was at a party drinking. And so obviously once the 90,000 fans went away, that atmosphere, the drinking just escalated. So yeah, it was wonderful to hear him talk about his journey, and just want people to know, who are tuning in right now, that there are a lot of people out there who appear to have it together, but can possibly be struggling significantly. Yeah, for sure. And I mean, that doesn't just include substance. That doesn't just include a lot of things. It's just life. Be nice to your coworkers. You don't necessarily know what they're going through.
Right.
You see them 8 hours a day, but that's only 8 hours a day you see them, right? Like,
true.
They may not share their stresses with you because they don't want to stress you out, or B, it's none of your business. And that goes everywhere. You don't know what those workers went through that day, that maybe somebody was a little short with you. Maybe you had a waiter or waitress that didn't meet what you would call good service. People are human.
Right.
The more grace that we give, the more grace that we allow, hopefully that comes back to us when we need it. It's not always going to. Life isn't fair. That's not how it works. But if you are good to people, people will be good to you. As a rule of thumb. And so sometimes you just got to get through that bad person, that person that's stressing you, that toxicity, and there'll be something good on the other side. So take it from someone who was in that toxicity and almost let it overcome them, that there is another side. You'll get there eventually.
Indeed. Yeah, man. So I again, this is obviously not our sports podcast, so I'm not going to dive deep into the game, but I just wanted to mention that there are folks out there who are still struggling. There are folks out there who have overcome their struggles, overcame their struggles, excuse me. So there's a lot of people out there who are just like us, and I think that was just a wonderful feeling. It was.
Absolutely.
And I had no idea, you know what I mean? Yeah, I was just going to play some softball, and then bam, have that. So it's you just never know. It could be the person you're getting your food from, like you stated, at a restaurant, the clerk at a gas station, all of the above. There's people like us. There
are dozens of us. You hear that? Dozens.
Yeah. Right.
So this is going to be more of a fun podcast. So let's go into, I got a PS5. Maybe not a lot of people know that. I actually got it pre-ordered, and my pre-order held the entire way till it was released. I got a PS5 at launch. I got super, super lucky. I knew I was lucky as soon as I got it.
Right.
You've been searching for a PS5 forever, but you talked a lot of junk about Xbox. That Xbox is nothing. Xbox stinks. Xbox is going down the toilet. Like, they're going to go bankrupt. They ain't going to have a system. What did you just recently buy?
I still believe in all of that. I still think Xbox is trash. I really do. But I got an Xbox Series S arriving this upcoming Thursday. Mainly because some of the friends who I play with right now, we're playing cross-platform games, that being like Duty, that being The Show.
You just say Duty.
Some Warzone. Yep. And they're just talking a little bit too much trash about how they think that they can beat me in FIFA, or how they think that I will not be able to match their intensity in 2K or anything like that. So I'm like, all right, screw it. I'm getting the Xbox, and we're gonna settle this. And so got the Xbox Series S. Just really honestly, I'm just gonna play FIFA on their Madden. They're talking trash in Madden 2. And really all the sports games that are not cross-platform. And I gotta quiet them. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm not expecting any type of exclusive games, of course. Xbox is not the greatest platform when it comes to exclusive games, except Halo, of course.
Even then, though, that's taking a little bit of a dive.
Not a fan.
So
I'm not a fan.
The multiplayer is apparently supposed to be amazing. I would think it's going to be amazing. The last Halo multiplayer I played left a little bit to be desired, but I heard Halo 5 kind of took it back to kind of more of the Halo 2 days. But the Halo Infinite had a beta, and they're going to have another one. Comes out in December. It officially comes out in December. The multiplayer is free to play. And it's supposed to be like Halo 2 for real.
Oh no, there's no way they're bringing that back.
That's how it feels. That's how it plays. Like, there's obviously updated everything, like it,
right?
But it plays like Halo 2, Halo 3, that era of multiplayer is how the things that it reminds you of.
About time. Like, let's stop Microsoft. Let's stop acting like, or was it Bungie, obviously, if you want to get more specific, obviously, into who's the developers of the game. Let's stop acting like that Halo 2 is not the greatest online matchmaking multiplayer game of all time. Just what it did, how revolutionary it was, the impact of changed the entire foundation of online multiplayer.
I remember one of my really good friends skipped 2 weeks of school.
Oh gosh.
When that game first came out and just sat there and played online.
CCS wasn't called or like what?
Right? I mean, it was hilarious. We're like, oh, is he back yet? No, he's still playing video games. His dad called.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. And I brought that up saying, let's stop acting like it, because look, recreate that. If you want more money, Bungie, if you want more money, Xbox, recreate that atmosphere or just remaster
Better
it.
said than done, right? They already they did remaster it.
Halo 2?
Yeah, Master Chief Collection.
That's right. Remaster it again. Screw it. Just come out with just Halo 2. Just Halo 2 and just perfect it again like they did back then. I'm telling you, they would get, obviously those who I've played with are my age now, 30s. You're going to get 30-year-olds. You're going to get 40-year-olds on that game. Bring it back. Bring it back. Same maps too. I think they make the exact same. Bring it back.
It's one of those things, you know, it's lightning in a bottle. It's like, why doesn't every game be like Fortnite? Why doesn't every game be like, you know, Apex Legends? But it's easier said than done. But it's all about the gameplay. If you make the gameplay fun, if you make the gameplay pretty level and even, you're gonna be setting yourself up for a lot of players, right? Gameplay is what drives if you're gonna play a game or not. And sometimes that's lost. Sometimes it's more about the style. Sometimes it's more about the story. Sometimes it's more about other stuff. But like, if you don't play this gameplay and you're like, oh, this slaps hard as a multiplayer game, then
say that what?
If you're playing that gameplay and you're like, oh, this, and you're not like, this slaps hard.
I was not expecting that you saying that.
Well,
because I say that all the time when I talk to my friends, and I'll send them like a new song and I'm like, yo, this slaps.
Right.
So I didn't know anybody else used.
That's where I usually come from. Is a lot of people say that about music. So I started saying it about music, but then I'll talk about the gameplay because the gameplay is better than solid. Slaps. Right? It slaps hard.
Let's dive deep into that. What do you think it? It's kind of a dumb question, but because I think I know the answer. When we talk about Halo 2 multiplayer, like what? Even the game chat, like when matchmaking was awesome. Like, what do you think? What do you think it was that just because okay, because I'm gonna say, let's be honest. I mean, wars. We have, like you said, we have all these games that are somewhat similar skeleton. Obviously, just different guns, different meat and tendons are different. No, but same skeletal structure. So, what was different?
I think nowadays people are trying to do too much in every game. They're trying to make it perfect. So sometimes you focus on something that you think is important and it ends up not being important. Like I would say either Halo 2 or Call of Duty 4 were the best online multiplayer games of all time. I don't know too many people who would dispute that. Maybe somebody would say Overwatch. Maybe somebody would say Team Fortress. Okay, sure. But to me, it's those two. And then, you know, going from there, what did they have in common? They were mostly simplified. So, you know, Call of Duty 4, everybody has the same kill streak. It was the same 3 kill streaks, and you could rotate. And then, obviously, you had a very limited loadout system, so it made it very easy to use. Now with Halo 2, it was the same weapons on every single map or the same spot every single time, and they'd spawn during certain, you know, at a certain time you'd pick it up, and then it would come back after so much time, so people could get that down. But then the weapons were so well balanced. The way that they canceled each other out. Like if you picked up the sword, you know, there was always the sniper, or you know, if you're using the sniper, there's a battle rifle, like things like that. Like you could always counter somebody who's really good with something. Generally, you know, you had your god level players that there was just no countering them. But then you had like your jump and your crouch while you're jumping to kind of throw off aim, even though it really didn't do anything extra.
It's so funny getting back and playing those games.
Right.
When you're playing Warzone, you're playing all these new modern games where you got bullet drop, where you got, the wind is a factor, light, all the above, breathing whenever you're scoping in. But obviously with Halo, it's zero bullet
Point
drop.
and click. Point and click,
It's just
baby.
point and click. So now understanding, frames per second, understanding, the advantages that come with playing on PC. Dude, playing on PC with Halo is a cheat code. It shouldn't be allowed.
Which they
Literally just point and click.
they had, they had that as a factor.
Hi.
So, hey Waba, how you doing?
Hey,
I am so sorry.
That's all right.
it's all good.
I feel very badly for interrupting your recording.
No problem.
Very badly that I'm not here at all on time, literally an hour late.
It's all good.
Life
it's all
happens. Life happens. You wanna jump in for a little bit, or you good?
I mean, I honestly have to get to work soon.
Okay. No problem.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to reschedule or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that.
We'll hit you up.
Yeah. We can do that.
All right, thank you.
All right. Don't work
Bye.
too hard.
All right, that was interesting. But all right, to those listening, that was Waba. Waba, again, scheduling issues. I think it sounds like Waba got picked up on a new grabbed a shift for work. Obviously that's overlapping with our stream. Can't fault a person for that. Most definitely can't. Gotta grind. Gotta get those dollars. Gotta pay those bills. But we will reschedule with Waba. You guys just heard it, so we will keep you guys tuned in on that. RJ, what were we talking about? Halo 2.
PC players playing on
Yeah.
Halo.
Yep.
Yeah, like you're seeing that like when with crossplay, like Fortnite, Warzone especially. I think you've mostly seen it with Warzone.
They're even putting that sticker on their monitor too, like marking it.
Really?
And just they put like a little X on their monitor, and they just, as soon as that X gets over somebody's head, they just click, snipe.
Yeah, that's so you can see that PCs it's such an amazing, like huge advantage over any any other gameplay. So that is where I don't know. I'm excited to see what they come out with, what Halo Infinite actually does. The multiplayer is going to be free to play. Like, I'm excited to see how you like the Xbox ecosystem, because the Series S is a good jumping in point. It's not super over the top expensive. It's technology, and it's the latest technology. Therefore, it is a little bit pricey, but you kind of know how it is. And then you go with, you got Halo coming up. But if you get the Game Pass, all Xbox first party games, although they don't really have much coming out right now, but they'll all be free as soon as they come out. They're free. They're all paid for on Game Pass. So
the Game Pass is the same. It's like PlayStation Now.
yes.
Okay. I'm loving that PlayStation Now, by the way. Recently, loving it.
Good.
Like obsessed with it.
You play
check it like
whatever game you want, and it's on there. So like that's the
I
thing.
check
And
it
you
like
don't
daily.
have to pay. You just show up, and it is what it is.
Right.
So,
Indeed, sir. We were looking forward to having Wab on.
we were looking forward to have Wab on.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to have him on again.
Absolutely. But we appreciate everybody obviously pivoting with us, but adapting to what we had today. But yeah, I mean, we got
over on YouTube.
Indeed. But we do, again, I mean, I think it's important, the topic at hand today, if you had to, if you stopped listening right now and you're like, okay, what did they talk about today? I think it's important to kind of tie this all back together, where we're getting into the fall season. We're getting into the holiday season, football season, these gatherings. And when there's gatherings, there's alcohol, especially when sports, especially during the holiday season, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Halloween. I think falls on a Saturday this year, I think.
And winter just equals many different types of alcoholic drinks, right?
Right.
So
I know it's on a Sunday, but still Halloween on a weekend.
I think my chair's falling apart now too. Getting ready to move. My goodness.
So we just want for you guys to just understand, just to have a plan. Have a plan. You know it's coming. You know it's coming. You know the holiday season is coming. You know football season's in a week. Technically, it already started in college. So what's your plan? What's your exit strategy when you're in these situations and you're around alcohol and you're around maybe some folks who you've partied heavily with in the past and they're drinking in front of you at the gathering? What's your exit strategy? What's your plan? Are you going with somebody to help you? You going with somebody who understands where you're at in your recovery journey? And how are you getting away from the party? How are you getting away from the gathering? These are important stuff to think about now.
Definitely is. It's easier to plan ahead of the time than it is to figure out what you're going to do when you're in it, because pretty much all you have when you're in it is leave the situation.
Right. Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Those
Two
are
options.
stinky. Those are stinky. There's been many times where I've thought about giving in instead of leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And it has taken a lot to leave, but then when you get home, you feel a lot better than you did if you'd have given in. And that's the thing, that in the moment, and sometimes it is to give yourself up in the moment. In the moment, it feels like it's a really bad decision, like you're missing out on a lot. But then you talk to people the next day and they're like, no, you left at a really good time, because after that, so-and-so like fell in the bathtub and like cracked their lip and then threw up and there was blood everywhere. We just had to clean it up and it was no fun.
Dude, why is it always like that? It's always like that. You nailed it right there, because that is exactly how it is. It's like I think I was literally just listening to somebody right there. You sounded like somebody within like the last like 6-7 months said the same thing. Not the incident, but how you started it. You left at a really good time, because
that's what it always is. It always is like, oh, hey, what did I miss? Did I miss anything that was really funny? No, you left at a really good time, because that's when everybody starts to get really over the top. And so that's something to think about too, is that FOMO is the fear of missing out. Are you always missing out? No, you're not. You're putting more fear into it than what you're really doing. You're putting more into it than what is there. So that's something to really take into.
Right. I mean, last night, you don't think I wanted to go grab a beer with Willie Banks, Bill Hall, Fingers, turned it in, and I turned it in as well with Fingers, and obviously drove back home. As I obviously know the outcome, but of course I wanted to go hang out with these guys at a bar, restaurant, and reminisce on stories and continue the conversation. But 10:30 at night in Kenosha at a bar, there's absolutely no way for me that was going to end well. I mean, and on a Saturday.
We've all been there. We've all been there.
I'm like, all right, I'm just going to go home. You guys enjoy your nights, but I'm gonna hit the road.
There's a saying in baseball, and I think you've heard me say it. All good parties start after 2. What that means is that's when you get into a rallies after 2 outs. All good parties start after 2. How many times have you ever been to a good party that started after 2, though? Let's be real. And let's be real.
What do we
started after
AM, PM?
Come on. You know what we're talking about.
Oh, yeah. Right. I mean, okay, so we didn't start pre-gaming until like 11.
Right.
Right. And then you're out at 12:30, 12:45 till about 3:30, 4 o'clock. Right. So I don't understand the saying though.
All good parties start after 2. It refers to the fact that you have 2 outs in an inning and you're up to bat. So then you start a rally, like a couple base hits, you score a run, and then you keep it going. But then it could also go towards drinking, right?
Okay, I got you. Right.
Too.
Okay, I got you.
Baseball.
Yeah. I got you. But again,
use that one next time you're playing somebody in the show. Be like, hey, when you're up to bat, hey, all good parties start after 2. Let's go. I'm ready for this.
I'm gonna use that. But again, guys, to at least for me to end, have a plan for this fall. Have a plan for maybe it's your parents or maybe it's your siblings who, like to have a good time during the holiday season, which is nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that at all. You're around family, you're around safe people you trust. Nothing wrong with that at all. But obviously for us in recovery, you got to obviously think about how you're going to speak to your family as well. You're really, really close ones where those emotions are super heightened when you're speaking to your family. What's your exit strategy for them? It's a lot easier. Maybe, obviously, case by case is different, but I would assume for most, it's easier to tell a friend, hey, no, I'm good. I don't want to do that. Can we do something else? As opposed to a fan. Maybe. Might be different for some. Maybe easier to say that to a friend. Or harder to say that to a friend than a family member. Yeah, that's what I meant. Excuse me. I'm confusing myself here in this turnaround. I'm sure it's harder to say that to a family member that, can we do something else? Can we not have alcohol around the table during Thanksgiving? That's going to be a difficult conversation for some. Again, my apologies for that confusion there. I confused myself. But again, case by case is different. Make sure you guys have a plan. Think on it.
Let's have a good weekend or week. It's Sunday. Time of
it is Sunday.
Like, man,
we're almost in September, man. Yeah. Good gosh. When I saw that thing of,
I'm close to being homeless.
Talking over you, but Chadwick Boseman passed away last year. When I saw people posting about him again, I was like, it's been a year already.
Right. It felt like after April, this year's just been a snap of the fingers. So,
dude, it seemed like he just passed away. But anyways, stay on topic here.
Rest in power, Chadwick. Boseman. You can catch us Untapped Keg every Sunday at 9 a.m. We'll be recording shows. We also have guests on. Stay tuned to social media. Find us at Untapped Keg on Twitter, everywhere. All podcast services. Leave us a review, 5 stars, please. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know how we can improve. Send us questions on anything. Our DMs are open on Twitter.
Always.
Mons, where can they find you?
You guys can find me at MonteBall28 on Twitter. MonteBall on Instagram. Same for Facebook. And obviously the Untapped Keg pages. Again, send us messages, questions, topics, people you want to see. We'll most definitely make it happen. And again, we're going to be rescheduling WABA, and we got a good rollout of some guests coming up here for the month of September. It's going to be a fun time. It really, really is.
Actually, into October,
into October, right? Yeah,
it's going to be fun.
We got some guys.
I'm gonna pimp it right now. Yeah. Amelie's coming back. Stay tuned. Amelie of the Sea is coming back, everybody. Get pumped.
Indeed.
So
we're gonna
exciting.
have
I'm so jazzed.
No problem.
I can't smile.
We're gonna have a doctor on. We're gonna have a former professional quarterback on sometime soon. We're gonna get that locked in. It's gonna be fun, you guys. But RJ, where can they find you?
Find Untapped Keg everywhere. It's Trickster, ITZ. The I is a 1 in Trickster. And everybody, let's try to be better tomorrow than we were today. Because at least if we didn't make it, we tried. Have a great week. We love you.